Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about The Virgin Suicides, a novel written by Eugenides and published in 1993. This book is a psychological drama and coming-of-age story that explores themes of isolation, obsession, and memory through the tragic story of five sisters. The novel takes place in a quiet suburban neighborhood in the 1970s and is narrated by a group of neighborhood boys who are obsessed with the Lisbon sisters. The story is both nostalgic and haunting as the boys try to make sense of what happened to the girls and why they all end up taking their own lives. Through their fragmented memories, collected artifacts, and second-hand stories, the novel becomes a reflection on how we remember the past and how certain mysteries remain unsolved. Now let's talk about the characters. At the center of the story are the five Lisbon sisters. Cecilia, the youngest at 13, is the first to take her life, settling the tragic events into motion. Lux, who is 14, is rebellious and the most openly expressive, known for her relationship with boys. Bonnie, the quiet and religious, 15 years old. Mary, who is 16, initially survives but later attempts suicide again. Therese, the eldest at 17, is intelligent and science-minded. The parents, Mr. and Mrs. Lisbon, are strict and religious, keeping the girls isolated from the outside world. The novel is narrated by a group of neighborhood boys who were fascinated by the sisters as teenagers and continue to obsess over their story even as adults. Another important character is Trip Fulton, a charming and popular boy who has a brief but significant romance with Lux. One of the reasons The Virgin Suicides is considered a contemporary novel is because it explores several key ideas that are still relevant to today. The first one is isolation and confinement. The Lisbon sisters are kept under strict control by their parents, which only worsen their loneliness and mental health struggles. Their home becomes like a prison, emphasizing how extreme restrictions can have damaging effects. Second, the obsession and nostalgia. The narrator, now grown men, are still fixated on the sisters, trying to piece together to the truth of what happened. This reflects how memories of the past can consume people, especially when they involve tragedy and mystery. The third one is the novel explores mental health and suicide, showing how the sisters struggle with depression in the way that no one around them fully understands. Another key theme is the relatability of memory. The story is told through the perspective of the boys, who are remembering events from decades ago. Their memories are shaped by their emotions and limited understanding, making it hard to know what is true and what is imagined. Finally, the novel critiques suburban life. On the surface, the Lisbon family's neighborhood looks perfect, but beneath it, there is repression, secrecy, and emotional detachment. The book suggests that this kind of environment contributes to the sister downfall. Now let's talk about the narrative techniques that makes this book unique. One of the most interesting choices Eugenides makes is using an unreliable collective narrator. The story isn't told by just one person but by a group of boys who speak as we. This creates a sense of mystery and distance as they try to reconstruct the sister life through old diaries, rumors, and their own memories. But because they are outsiders, we can never fully trust their versions of events. Another technique is nonlinear storytelling. The novel doesn't follow a traditional timeline. Instead, it moved back and forth between past and present, reflecting how memory works: messy, fragmented, and emotional. The book also used intertextuality with reference to 1970s pop culture, music, and media. These elements help build the setting and reinforce the boys' nostalgia for their teenage years. Another interesting technique is metafiction. The narrators act like detectives, analyzing evidence almost like they are creating a case file. This makes the novel feel like an investigation. Beyond these narrative techniques, the book also used symbolism. The Lisbon house, once a normal suburban home, became a decaying prison. Luke's old records and the girls' diaries serve as remnants of their lost life, reinforcing of the theme of the memories and obsession. Another important aspect is the grand narrative discussion. Traditionally, stories try to provide a clear cause and effect explanation of events, but the Virgin Suicides refuse to do so. It challenges the idea that we can ever fully understand another person's life, making the novel even more haunting. For conclusion, in the end, The Virgin Suicides is a haunting and beautifully written novel that explores the complexity of memories, obsession, and loss. Through its unique narration, fragmented storytelling, and deep themes, it challenges the reader to think about how we remember the past and whether we can ever truly understand the lives of others. Thank you for listening.